city of La Crosse is suing nearly 24 chemical companies it blames for contaminating dozens of wells near the airport.
Well, the wells are contaminated with dangerous compounds called PFAS. A man-made chemical was used to produce the firefighting foam sprayed at the La Crosse airport for decades.
Well, according to the city's test, PFAS in that foam spread through the groundwater and then into 2 city wells and more than 100 private wells in the town of Campbell. The PFAS levels in more than 40 wells is so high, the water is unsafe to drink, cook with, or use to even brush your teeth. News 8 Now's Amy DuPont joins us in the studio to explain why La Crosse Mayor Tim Cabot says the chemical companies, not the city, are responsible for the contamination cleanup.
Well, Mike and Martha, according to the city's complaint, the companies have known since as far back as the 60s that PFAS compounds used to make that foam, well, they're toxic, don't break down easily, and pose a significant risk to human health, and that they didn't tell consumers. Now, this fall, the city tested for and found PFAS in more than 100 private wells in the town of Campbell. The city of La Crosse is providing bottled water to roughly 40 families with the highest levels of PFAS. But they will need a safe and permanent source of water, either through an in-home filter or water piped in from the city of La Crosse. Now, homeowners want the city to pay all of those costs and for any potential loss of property value. More than 200 homeowners have hired an attorney who put the city on notice they may sue the city. But La Crosse Mayor Tim Cabot says the foam manufacturers are responsible for the contamination and they, not the city, should have to pay to clean it up.
We're all in this together locally. I mean, these manufacturers knew about the dangers that these chemicals presented. They yet did nothing about that for a long time. And we're all now paying the price.
The city of La Crosse's attorneys are also representing about 100 other municipalities and utilities that provide water. Now, they've been litigating lawsuits against these foam manufacturers for about 2 years, and there is no end in sight, which means even if the city wins its case, it could be years before the city receives a settlement, and it is not 100% clear if or how the city would use that money to benefit town of Campbell homeowners. Of course, News 8 Now is going to stay on top of this story. We will continue to share with you information as soon as we get it. Mike and Martha.
All right, thanks so much, Amy. Also, the attorney representing town of Campbell homeowners released a statement after the city filed suit. It reads in part, the city has refused to pay for well testing in neighborhoods around the La Crosse airport that clearly are contaminated with PFAS chemicals, complaining about the costs of doing so. Jacobson says now that the city has hired a huge New York law firm to recover environmental investigation costs from the chemical companies, the city no longer has an excuse to avoid testing private wells.